Hi everyone, welcome to another cooking video of my cooking channel. In this video, we are going to be making some homemade bagels. And what we will need is 1/4 of a cup plus 3 tablespoons of warm water, some yeast, 1 egg that's beaten, that looks like this, and 6 tablespoons of melted and cooled butter, some white sugar, some flour, and some baking powder, and any flavorings of your choice. And you could use cinnamon, banana flavoring, mint flavoring, or even cocoa powder, or you can even use chocolate chips if you'd like to. And the first thing that we need to do is we need to pour the warm water into here. And we need to mix in the sugar and the yeast. And we need 2 teaspoons of yeast. And try to get it leveled out. And it should look something like that. And we're going to pour that in there. And then we will need 2 teaspoons of the white sugar. And it should look something like that. And if it's close but not exact, then that's fine. We are going to pour that in. And then we need to mix this together. Until it is creamy like that. And after about 10 minutes, it should look something like this. What we need to do is we need to measure out the flour. And we will need 3 cups plus 2 tablespoons of flour. And with measuring stuff out, I like to pour some in or scoop some into a measuring cup. And then level it out and then adjust it to the measurement that you need it to be at. And there is 3 cups right there. And then we will need to add 2 more tablespoons. And there's 1 tablespoon. And then there's 2 tablespoons. Then we will need to pour that in. And then we will need to add this melted butter and the beaten egg. And then we will also need to add this baking powder, and we will need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And there's 1 teaspoon. And there's another teaspoon. And then we will need to mix all that up until it's mixed up as good as we can. And then I realized that I added 2 cups instead of 3 cups of flour. So I need to add an additional cup of flour. Okay. That's it. and then there's about 1 cup of flour, even though it's a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to stir that in. Alright, and then once it's all mixed up, it should look something like this. And you don't want it to be too sticky, but you don't want it to be too floury. Then we are going to knead it for about 5 minutes. And then we are going to let this dough sit in the bowl for a little while to rest for about another 5 minutes. And then we need to preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, and then with this next step here, we would need some bowls if you are going to be adding flavorings to the bagels, but you don't have to add flavorings to the bagels if you don't want to. And then we will need some cookie sheets. And then we will need some wax paper, and it's also known as parchment paper or freezer paper. And then we're going to take some of this dough here and put it into here. Then some of this dough, and then put it into here. Okay. Alright, there. That looks like it's good enough. And then, with the flavorings, if you want, you can add cocoa powder, you can even add cinnamon, you can even add raisins too. You can also add some strawberry flavoring, or you can use real strawberries. You can even use blueberries too. And you can use lemon flavoring, mint flavoring, banana flavoring, and all sorts of different flavors. And then you can use chocolate chips if you'd like. And then I'm going to use chocolate chips in this one. And with the flavorings, you can always use the amount that you want to add. Alright. And I'm going to also add a little bit of cocoa powder to that one too. This open. Camera's gonna clock good. I'm gonna pour a little bit in here. Okay, there. Alright. And then I would recommend using a spoon to mix that up. And you can really mix and match with all the flavorings that you. We are going to take some of this wax paper and then spread it out onto this cookie sheet. Like this. And then we are going to cut that off. Okay. And then place it right here like that. And then we are going to take some of this dough and kind of form it into a ball some. Like this. And then we are going to place it onto here. Kind of, no, wait, I lied. And then we will need to place a hole in the center like that. And then place it here, kind of get it to be even. All right, there. Okay. And let's do this again. So we roll into here, into a ball, and then kind of flatten it towards like this, and then we put a hole into the center, like that, and then there. And then we will want to leave a little bit of space in between each bagel, and obviously in between the edges too. And then we're going to do that. I'm going to show you a third time. So we roll into a ball like this and flatten it out like that. And then we kind of rip a hole in it like that, then kind of form it into the form of a bagel. And then we are going to bake the bagels in the oven for about 25 minutes or until they are golden brown. The bagels are all done baking in the oven. It should look something like this.